Well, it's nice to see everyone. So you guys have made it to day 3 of the gratitude challenge. And really, as you can see, it's a little bit more than gratitude. I mean, every morning we're meeting to meditate, write in our gratitude journal, and prayer. So really, it's like a morning sadhana, or a morning spiritual practice. And honestly, I do a couple of challenges. This is one of my favorite ones because I think it's just a wonderful way to start the day. And I think it's wonderful to be able to start it with a group of people. So it's kind of like our little spiritual group or community. So I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. And if there's ever any questions that you have after the practice, please feel free to reach out to me via email or post in the Facebook group, whatever you feel comfortable doing. So yesterday we started off with a loving kindness meditation. Today we're going to start off with a mantra meditation. So man, if you look at the word mantra, man means mind and tra means tool or instrument. So mantra literally means like instrument of the mind, or it's also called mind protection. So what it does is it helps protect our mind from invasive or unhelpful thoughts. So just like with an awareness of breath meditation, we focus on the breath to focus and calm our mind. With a mantra, we're going to focus on a word or phrase. And generally these words or phrases do have some meaning, but it's not so much the meaning, it's really the sound, the vibration of the syllables that help to invoke a certain consciousness or energy. So the mantras do have a meaning, but it's really the sound. So today we're going to practice with a mantra, and a mantra is also just a great way, again, the vibrational, it connects with the divine. And just like regular meditation, mantra meditation helps us to reduce stress, anxiety, anger. It also helps us increase just a sense of ease, joy, and harmony. Now, often mantras are used with mala beads. So mala beads are beads with 108 different beads on it. And generally we do a mantra for 108 counts, and we're not going to do that here, but I did just want to show you, in case you are interested in pursuing a mantra meditation, that you can get a mala necklace. You often wear it around your wrist, and it helps keep track of the mantras as you're going through it. So today the mantra we're going to use is Sat Chit Ananda. So Sat Chit Ananda, it's a Sanskrit mantra. Sat means truth, Chit means consciousness, and Ananda is bliss. So what this roughly translates to is my soul exists in complete fulfillment. So that's outside of all of the different thoughts we have, out of the desires, the aversions, the things that we want, the things that we don't want. When we can kind of get to that more clear blue sky we talked about the other day, that's when we can rest in just joy, bliss, fulfillment. So Sat Chit Ananda is a reminder that at our core, at our soul essence, we're joy, we're bliss. So we're going to start with this mantra, and let me actually just write it in the chat so you guys can also just see what it is. I'm going to start practicing with you, but then I'm going to fade out so you can continue the mantra on your own. And you can either say it out loud or you can say it silently to yourself. I would generally recommend saying it out loud because I think it helps to focus the mind, and you guys are all on mute, so nobody can hear you. But it's up to you. So just writing it in the chat so you guys can see the actual mantra, what it means. So let's get started. We can get started in a comfortable seat. So
can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Would it help if we all said it together, like the vibration of the group, or we should do it on mute?
Maybe at some point it would. I think today, since we're just starting to get familiar with it, it might be good just to kind of do it kind of individually. Okay. But I like where you're going with that, and maybe we can do like a mantra together. I'd probably maybe even recommend I'll get a maybe shorter mantra that we can do as a group, but I definitely like that recommendation. I'm thinking just because we're just getting introduced to mantras, it might just be better just to kind of just do it, get that connection with yourself first is my only thought, but that was a great suggestion, and maybe we can do that on another one. So to get started, generally no matter what type of meditation we do, we're going to just start by just arriving. So you can start to close your eyes, sit up tall. We'll just spend a few moments turning inward, focusing on the breath. Whether it's mantra or loving kindness or a different type of meditation, I always think it's good just to focus on the breath, start to come back into the body. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. And then we'll start the mantra. And again, I'll start it with you, but then I'm going to fade out and you continue with it. And we'll do this for probably about 10 minutes. Sat, Chit, Ananda. 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 And you can continue on your own. I'll remind you on occasion. Sat, Chit, Ananda. And continuing to repeat the words either out loud or to yourself. Sat, Chit, Ananda. And Sat, Chit, Ananda. My soul exists in complete fulfillment. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Truth, consciousness, and bliss. And Sat, Chit, Ananda. You can start to release the mantra. You can keep your eyes closed. Just spend a moment just returning to the breath. When you're ready, you can slowly start to open your eyes. Start to look around. Give your legs a little bit of a rub, maybe the arms, as you start to come back. Yeah, and I see some of you swaying a little bit, which is actually great. And this is a mantra that does kind of calls to the body to sway. You'll notice that some meditations do that, and it's really beautiful. So if you ever feel the need to do that in a meditation, please do. So Joseph Campbell, who is an author and mythologist, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he did a lot of work with, he writes about goddesses, mythology, how we can apply myth and ritual into our everyday life. And I'm actually going to post a great essay, and I'll post a link to one of his talks, The Power of Myth, in our Facebook group. But when he talked about Sat, Chit, Ananda before, he's like, well, I didn't really know Sat. I don't really know if I understand the truth of everything. Or Chit, I don't know if I really understand consciousness. He's like, but I did understand rapture or bliss. He's like, and that's the path I took. So following your bliss. And he's really known for encouraging other people to follow your bliss. So when we're starting to do things that light us up and we're pursuing our passions, that's really another way of connecting with the divine. And a lot of Eastern gurus have said that as well too, that the way to Ananda, the way to Sat and Chit is through Ananda. So you can keep that in mind. So whether you're doing something, whether you're pursuing a passion, or maybe you're gardening or spending time with your friends, when we're doing things that invoke that state of bliss, that is another way of connecting with the divine. That's why this is one of my favorite mantras. And I think it's just kind of good to remember that there is, we can bring joy and pleasure into our devotional practice, and that's really what people encourage us to do. So we're going to take some time now, maybe about 5 minutes, to write in our gratitude journal. So again, you can do 3 things, and you can try to make them specific each day, so maybe a little bit different. And you're going to write what you're grateful for and why. And it could be anything from something simple to a nice morning shower in the morning to whatever comes to mind. Those are what you should be writing down. Just another minute or so. Okay, so today I'm going to read a prayer by Caroline Myss. So this was her book, Intimate Conversations with the Divine. And the interesting thing about her prayers is that they're very, very casual. So on Sunday, we talked a little bit about prayers are a way to have a conversation with the divine. So I think often when we think of prayers, we think they have to be very formal, maybe well written, well planned out. But they really don't. It could be like just like you're having a conversation with your friend. So it gives us access, it lets the divine know we're here, and it also gives us a way to communicate where we need guidance in our lives. And just the fact of verbalizing it is a way to connect and to receive that information. So you'll see as I read this prayer, and it's called Organic Divinity, it's just like a conversation that you would have with a friend. So it's connecting to your higher power, whoever that may be. So she writes, I don't recall ever feeling separated from the sacred thread within me. Not really. I'm not sure why. I have struggled with where I belong and what to do next, but it never occurred to me that you had dropped the ball on guiding me to that next stage of my life, Lord. It actually never occurred to me. I think I was born without ordinary appetites, but with an extraordinary desire to find my way into the sacred realm, like a quest to find that secret garden. Perhaps that is why guidance was woven into my life. I have learned you have an organic voice. You guide us through the way of our own nature. I recall being mystified by my friends who knew they would be mothers, even before they met their mates. Motherhood was intended a natural part of who they were. It was organic to them. I never had that organic pulse guiding me, so I watched motherhood from afar, never craving the need to give birth. I craved giving birth to books, to words on paper, incarnating the visions that electrified my imagination. Everyone craves their natural path, the way of their own nature. You are hitting along that path. Guidance abounds in that inner labyrinth. We crave to know what we are meant to give birth to in this life, what we are meant to create, to bring into fruition. Each of us, I deeply believe, longs to become fully whole with ourselves. I think that craving distraction, stuff, alcohol, drugs, is how we avoid encountering the power of our own nature, which is ultimately you hidden in our blood and bones. There really is no way to avoid that encounter. One way or another, we are destined to meet. So that was her prayer. And the reason I chose that, because that prayer is also about finding the things that you're compelled to do. So really following your bliss, following that rapture as another way of connecting with the divine. So I thought that this prayer went well with the mantra that we had done this morning. So that was our practice this morning. Oh, thank you. If you have any questions, comments, please let me know. I will be posting some more information about Chit, Ananda, Joseph Campbell in the Facebook group. So if you're interested in learning more, you'll have access to that. Okay. Well, thank you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.